여기에 신문들이 이렇게 쭉 나와 있거든요. 여기 가디언도 나와 있고, 그다음에 이렇게 미러도 나와 있고, 에코 이렇게 나와 있는데, 일단 저는 리버풀에 있으니까 여기 에코하고 그 다음에 이제 여기 가디언 신문을 한번 봐보도록 하겠습니다. 이제 사온 지역신문지 일단 에코를 먼저 보도록 하겠습니다. 지금 아무래도 지역신문이다 보니까 손흥민 기사보다는 이렇게 그 주말에 있었던 에버튼하고 리버풀 경기가 일단 메인으로 나와 있어요. 타이틀을 These are for you 라고 했네요. 이제 여러분들을 위한 골이다 라는 제목을 선정을 한 것 같고, 이제 간단하게 내용을 살펴보면 손흥민 선수가 4골을 넣으면서 주말 사우스햄튼과의 경기에서 5대2 대승을 이끌었고, 가레스 베일이 돌아왔지만 그의 자리는 Hello, which team do you support?
Manchester City, obviously.
Manchester United.
City.
Manchester City, of course.
Manchester. Liverpool as well.
Yeah, and you from?
I'm from France.
Manchester City.
I support Manchester United. I'm a season ticket holder there.
I don't know.
Okay.
South Korea. Just common knowledge. South Korea?
South Korea. I know him. I like him. He's an amazing player, and I knew this story that he had to quit football to join the military or something.
Korea?
Yeah.
I've been to Seoul, Korea.
South Korea.
He comes from South Korea.
How did you know that?
Because I known him, I followed him for a while when he came from Germany to Tottenham, and then he went in the army as well because he had to serve his army service for a year or so. But I think he did during the COVID-19. He served a few months. And
South Korea. I like the player. I play with him on FIFA. So yeah, he's very good.
How popular do you think he is in the UK?
in London, especially popular.
Yeah, extremely popular.
What about Manchester?
Well, he's playing now for Tottenham, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think he did he score like 3 goals or something the other night?
Yeah, 4
Last
goals
week?
last night. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously he's very popular in the south.
He's very popular. He's one of the best players in the Premier League. Scores so many goals. Works well with Kane and Bergwijn and Dele Alli at Tottenham. So yeah, good player.
Do you think he's popular in Manchester or only in London?
Mainly only in London.
It's very popular in London.
Popular down there, but I don't know about up here.
But not in Manchester.
No, not in Manchester. No, he doesn't play for United, so no.
I think he's very popular. Yeah, very popular. Yeah, he's a great player. Spurs.
Yeah.
I'd have him at City, to be honest. He's a good attacking midfielder. Scores loads of goals.
Yeah, definitely. He's like I say, social media. Certainly from the City side of things, a lot of fans like the look of him and would love to have him at City.
At Spurs, extremely, especially given his performances recently. Outside of that, so he's a United fan obviously, so I'm not biased as a Spurs fan. He comes across as a very likeable and hard-working player, so I indeed think he's quite a popular player here.
For me, he's one of the most hard-working player, or say, who plays forward. He works very hard. He's always on the move. He's very strong. He's got stamina like no one else, and he can play on the wing, or he can also play as a striker, lone striker. I think he's becoming very popular. For me, I would have him in City anytime.
What if he was a British international? Would his market value be a bit higher than now, like a Harry Kane or somebody else?
Traditionally, we do tend to find that a lot of English-British players do carry a premium in the transfer market. It's just simply the British talent does carry a premium, especially with the homegrown rules that you'll have typically with English football clubs. As for whether he'd have a higher market value if he was English, I couldn't say, especially given that Son's kind of rise to power at Spurs. He hasn't moved clubs in that time period, so it's difficult to attribute the transfer value, but I would imagine he would fetch 3 figures in a non-COVID environment.
I don't think his nationality will
His age,
make
I'm
a
not.
difference
I'm
at
not
all.
sure how old he is. I'm not sure of his age. But
28.
28. There's going to be a limit to his market value. Whether or not, if he was a British player, his value would be high. I would doubt that.
I would doubt that too. Yeah.
English players tend to go for more money because of that.
Yeah.
So in that way, maybe yes. But if he went to another league, then if he went to a Spanish league, then no, maybe.
National, his market value probably would be over £100 million at least. Yeah, probably with the current COVID-19 around 100. But in normal market now, the way he's playing, I think he's about 120 to 130 million for me, player.
Definitely, because English players, they're more expensive. Like you see, players like Harry Maguire, he's a good player, but is he 80 million? No, because he's English. So if Son was English, I think he cost 120 million.
What if he came to City?
Yeah, crying out for a player like that. And I know City have just signed Ferran Torres in a wide position, but Son plays a little bit more central than wing, and I'm sure he'd be added value to this team at City without a doubt.
Well, if you join United, I'd love to have a player like Son at United. Would it happen? It would take a lot of money to prize any of Spurs' star assets away, given Daniel Levy, the Spurs chairman's rumoured and famous negotiating stance on things like that. And particularly in the COVID-19 environment, it would be very difficult to be able to afford such a player should the cash amount for the transfer be required up front.
Do you think he's a world-class player?
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
In what sense?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, in what sense?
Well, just his skill, you know. Still on the ball, the way he reads the game.
Yeah, speed, mindset, skill.
Yeah.
I was unfortunately in there when he had a really good game in the Champions League and scored a great goal. And that was the first time that I'd seen him live, and he really impressed me. He was a lot better than what you think he is on TV. He is world class, yeah.
Fantastic player. He's got an engine, can defend, can go up and down the pitch like no one else. I've never seen anybody who works so hard. I think now he's a world-class player. He has become a world-class player for me, definitely. I think for me, he's the top 5 players in Premier League.
Not far off world class, you know. He's a very good player. He's a good player. He's shown it, you know what I mean, in his ability.
I think he's a world-class player. Look, he scores goals every season. High quality, big games. Yeah, he's world-class for me.
I'd put him up there, yeah. I'd say you've got the top tier of Ronaldo and Messi, but then beyond that, I think he is really starting to push himself up into those upper tiers in terms of players who are recognised as internationally and globally of very, very high standards.
If you have to pick only 11 players in the world, would you pick Son in your squad?
No.
Why not?
No. You know, because he's playing in the position which is very challenging. I mean, Son is a kind of left-wing midfielder. You know, he's quick, but he's playing in a position where there's a lot of challenge. You know, so in the world, I mean, I can.
A lot of competitors.
A lot of competition. I mean, he's playing the same position as Cristiano Ronaldo, for example. You know,
yes.
As Salah, for example, as Mane, for example, as.
Nah, maybe not, because Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, Neymar, they're all probably a bit better than him.
No, well, I'm saying you never know who's going to be in the first 11, but he'd walk into the squad and probably walk into the first team.